So today we're doing some guitar work for a really great producer and songwriter called Sketch, and we're doing some guitar samples. We're going to do a bit of experimenting and probably mostly electric work, so fun days, fun times. I think the way I'm going to work is, while I'm doing clean stuff, I'm going to DI my Strat straight into the laptop, and then if we want to mess around with some effects and stuff, I'm probably going to go through my board, because I'm generally not. Well, I've only started using Logic recently, so I'm not sure, because I've used GarageBand for a really long time, so I'm not sure how that's going to pan out. All the effects are like, if they're much better, but generally speaking, what I've found in the past with GarageBand is I much prefer using my real effects rather than the onboard effects, because they just sound more real. And there's like loads of things like noise cancellation, which I'd rather add later, that's often built into those sounds, and I don't really like that because it doesn't sound as honest, it doesn't sound as natural. So we're probably going to be doing that. DI. This would be a cool time to talk about this. This is sort of like my main working guitar. This is my Strat. I've got two Strats. This is sort of like my main one. Got it in One Joe's in Denmark Street. I want to say about 6 or 7 years ago now. About 6 or 7 years ago. It's really cool. I really love it. It's a normal 5-way switch. It's got quite a small neck. I've got quite large hands anyway, relatively speaking. So they fit around nicely, especially when I want to do anything that's kind of quite fiddly, or I want to play, you know, that sort of Hendrix Mayer style thumb over the top. Yeah, that all works quite well. You can probably see that the paint job's relic, but what's really cool about this, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, there's no lacquer on it, none at all. I know people like John Mayer have like similar guitars that, like on the painted section it's still lacquered, but this is sanded down completely. So the only place there's lacquer is if you look really carefully. You probably can't see it as this is under the bridge. It's just there. There's a little bit of lacquer there, and other than that, all of the lacquer has been completely sanded off. You can still see like scratch marks from where sandpaper was used. But yeah, so that's my main working guitar. Don't know how old it is. Don't know if it's like a parts caster or something. All I know is it says Fender on the headstock, and it sounds like a Strat. So therefore, I treat it like a Strat. Okay, so Sketch wants some sort of spacey, cool, fun, spacey sort of chilled out vibes, or like dripping in reverb kind of thing. So I've got a couple of ideas, and we'll start off with something that's a little bit kind of based around sort of like an E minor chord with some little fills and stuff here and there. And then I might try just shifting around in the key a little bit and trying some other chords. And then I might try a completely different idea, and we'll see what happens with that. With something that's still roughly in those veins, but maybe just more chordy, whereas this one's going to be sort of more open-y string kind of groove thing. So, yeah. Okay, so that's the basic idea down. So now I'm going to do it again, but this time I'm going to do like a slightly more fiddly version, something that's got like a few more little tricks and flips in it. Okay, so now that we've got like the Philly version done, I'm going to do some other chords just so he's got something to play around with, so, you know, other things that he can throw in there when he feels like it might sound interesting. Okay, so now I'm going to do another version of what I just did, but this time I'm just going to play the chords open, not really do anything like I did with the very first idea. Just let them kind of sit and do what they want to do and not mess around too much. Just be simple. Okay, we're going to try a slightly faster, more up-tempo idea now, so see how that pans out. We're going to change to sort of like an A minor thing now. Yeah. Okay, so it has been a few days since I sent the samples to Sketch, and he ended up going with the third set of things that I did, which, of course, because I did them in the middle of the day after I'd already been out and come back again, I didn't film for whatever reason. So yeah, but of course I do have the what I did on Logic still, so we're gonna go through that project, and I'll talk a little bit about what I did and why I did it. So Sketch and I went back and forth as he looked through the other ideas, and he liked the general vibe of the second thing that I did in A minor, but it wasn't quite fast enough, and he felt that it wasn't quite sort of dark enough. So decided to go for something that was a bit more up-tempo. So this one is 161 BPM, and it's still an A minor, and it's a little more it's still on that whole melancholic vibe. So this is the general idea of what I went with. So there's a lot more open stringy stuff, and yeah, it was a little less funky than the thing that I'd done before. So I did that open string stuff, and I did like this sort of a bit more chunky kind of rhythm kind of thing. It's essentially the same chord, I just played it a little bit differently. And then I did this, which is the same thing as the first, with a few additional sorts of alterations. But it was mostly all very similar. Didn't want to do too much that was different. But you get the idea with that. So that's what he's ended up using. So I've yet to hear what it is, but I think he's going to ask me to do some lead work at the end as well, which I'm excited about. So I thought I'd take this opportunity, since I'm up on Logic, to actually talk about how I recorded and what I did. And as you can see, there's 3 different tracks. Now they all play exactly the same thing. They're all exactly the same track. And the one that I just played you was how I recorded all of them. The other 2, however, are different ideas I had. So the first one, and I sent these all as WAV files, because it's a really good lossless way of sending music, and it's what you should do if you're gonna send music like this, recorded music, because otherwise things like MP3s they're not quite as good quality. So I went for a completely clean DI signal, is how I recorded them. At the end you'll see that I didn't exactly do that with the last one, but that was because I'd started recording on one track and I just pasted it into another, so it didn't really matter because it comes out with the same effect. So what you've just heard was the completely clean DI, just the sound of the single coil pickups in the neck position on my Strat. The next channel down, I'll mute this one. This next channel is with a simulated amp, and I think it's meant to sort of simulate essentially a Fender Blues Junior or something of that description. You know, something that's small but can be pretty powerful when you crank it to the right volumes. And it's essentially what my Roland Blues Cube is based on. A really great amplifier. So that sort of kind of tweed but not quite sound is what it was. So on all of the others I did this as well, and I sent this sort of amplified simulated sound. So take a listen to that, to what that sounded like. It's a little crunchier. I think it really reacted well when I did the more chunky stuff. It felt a lot more like, at least it sounded to me like a lot more like I was really playing, you know, it was less bland. And then finally, what I also did was I had to go and just decided to see what effects sounded like, and I didn't have the effect in my rig that I wanted for this, so I thought, well, what the heck, why not try what Logic has installed. So I went with this preset that's called Pure English, and I imagine it's maybe partly to do with maybe a take off the Police is what I imagined, but it's based on a Marshall amp by the looks of the design on the simulated amp picture, so I imagine that's the kind of amp it's based on. And then the effects that are on it is a lot of reverb, hell of a lot of reverb, and sort of a chorus, so it sounded like this. That kind of swirl feeling. And I think that really gave it that dark feeling. They kind of have like these interesting sort of like harmonic, percussive things that were coming off when I was doing this. You know, when I put it through the more chunky rhythm section. Which I found really interesting. So yeah, so I sent all three to Sketch, having already sent all of that other stuff that you heard earlier, and he really liked it, and that was the one he went with. He's going to come back to me and when the song's closer to finish, and I'm going to put the lead track down hopefully and do some more solo-y work. So I'll be back for that. Subscribe if you haven't already. I've never really done sort of like an ending card like this before. More to come on the EP hopefully soon. I might have to take a little break for a little while, not from video making hopefully, but I'm going on tour to do a production of Robin Hood soon. So the EP is going to be put on hold for a little bit, at least in terms of actually recording. In terms of production, I'll probably still be tinkering away because I'm never really that happy. So hopefully there'll be more fun content soon, and it'll probably be a bit more theatre related and more acting and stuff like that. So yeah, bye.